This video is going to show you how to create a very simple system and also then use the results breakdown features to refine your system to remove the parts of the system that weren't working and to keep and improve those that were. Okay, so first of all I'm going to add the rule for the year, and I'm just going to look at this year first of all. I always start off just to get an idea by starting the latest year, so I'm going to put greater or equal to 2022, which is going to show all of this year. Next rule I'm going to use is the BHA rating difference, so this is the official handicap mark, and I'm going to have less or equals -1. Okay, so this means that the horses we're looking at will have dropped in the handicap mark by at least 1. The next rule I'm going to add is number of runners less or equal 12, and the final rule, quite often I start with this rule as well in any system that I'm starting, and it is that the BSP should be less or equal 51. This just means that you won't get any you can change it if you want to, but it just means you won't get any massive price winners that are just going to affect the overall system results. Okay, so these are the 4 rules I'm going to start with, and then we're going to tick the include breakdowns box so that we can see other parts of the system and how we can improve what we've got. So let's click apply rules. Okay, so here we have the rules. Okay, not a great strike rate, 11.47. Profit of -371, obviously not good, and this is something we want to try and improve. So these are the results breakdowns. There's lots of different categories, and what the results breakdowns do is they give you a breakdown, believe it or not, of each category and give you a strike rate and profit and loss plus other information on different parts of the system. Okay, so as it stands at the moment, we're in a massive loss situation, and possibly you would probably think, well, that's just not even a good starting point, I'm going to start again. But obviously I've been through this system this morning and I'm going to try and refine it. Okay, so when you're looking to remove certain parts of the system, it's not all about removing the minus figures. What I like to try and do is look at the winning strike rates and tie them in with the profit and losses. Okay, and also you don't want to be reducing far too many bets, otherwise you won't have any bets. So what we've got here at the moment is there's these strike rates here are all very similar, 11 to 12. Okay, 3-year-olds, you know, there's a sensible reason that 3-year-olds may not be experienced enough or whatever it is for the system to show good results for your system. So there's a definite drop in percentage here for 3-year-olds and a massive loss. So we're certainly going to get rid of 3-year-olds. But what I'm going to do is stick to 4-year-olds to 9-year-olds. Okay, the 11-year-olds show a profit and a better strike rate, but I'm going to stick to 4-year-olds to 9-year-olds only. Okay, so we go back up the top, keep what we've already got, and add the rule horse age between 4 and 9, and then we apply the rules again. When you're adding a rule, you don't need to change what's already there, you can just keep updating. Okay, so slight improvement in strike rate, definite improvement in profit and loss, but we're still in a loss. So what can we do next? We're looking at the race type. Flat is the only winner at the moment, but the strike rates are similar. Handicap is a massive loss, but if you just restrict it to non-handicap races at the moment. You won't have too many bets, although there's a profit, but I'm going to leave that for the minute. I'm going to look at class first, and I'm going to see that class 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all similar strike rates. Okay, once you get to class 5 and 6, drop quite dramatically from, let's say, 13 or 14 down to just over 10, plus these two have a pretty big loss. Okay, so I'm going to restrict the races we're looking at to class 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we add the rule and we have class. We're going to say less or equal 4, so that's 4, 3, 2 and 1, and apply the rules again. Okay, so now we're in profit, so this is starting to look better. 113 points. Bear in mind this is just for 2022, that's pretty good. And an increase in strike rate too. Now, next one I'm going to look at is, so we're looking at all the strike rates and trying to find something that makes sense to remove it. I mean, you don't want to be removing anything or a random number just in the middle. Here's the horse age. So we have got losses here, but the strike rates are similar. And again, we don't want to be removing too many bets, so we'll leave that for the minute. Previous UK runs. Okay, previous UK runs. Now this one looks interesting. Horses that have only run once, twice or 3 times have got a dreadful strike rate. Okay, and are costing us, what's that, 55 points of profit. Horses over 30 who've raced over 30 times have also got a terrible strike rate and another loss. So this one is a really nice one to show just exactly the best part of these results breakdowns. You can clearly see, and it makes sense, horses that have had between 4 and 30 runs. So they're not totally inexperienced, but then really not over raced, and they've all got the 16 or 14% strike rate, and they're all in a positive profit. They've all got positive profits. So this one here, we can now quite confidently restrict the previous UK runs to between 4 and 30. Okay. So previous UK runs between 4 and 30, and then we apply the rules again. Right, okay, so strike rates increased again. The profit and loss, I think, has almost doubled, which is excellent. And we've now got something that we could start looking at, and now I'm going to go back to previous years. Okay, so once you've got your idea, I'd do it on, or I could have started on 2021 and 2022, but I like to stay, as we're sort of in the coming up to the middle of April, there's plenty of races have been run. We've had 2,000 bets just in 2022. Okay, so at this point I'm going to say this isn't a bad looking system. Okay, so I'm now going to go back to 2018, greater or equal, and apply the rules. Right, okay, so this is where I said we're going to get a little bit of a shock. The strike rate's gone down and the profit and loss is now massive. Okay, massive loss. And we can see that using just the rules we've got so far, that it's just a bit of a coincidence perhaps that 2002 is the only positive year and the other years are pretty horrendous. However, I looked at this morning and there's other parts of the system now. We've got the basic system and we're now going to look at, there's plenty of categories you can look at and decide for yourself, and look at the profit and loss and the strike rates and see what you want to do. But I have noticed that the run style number 4 is below 1, 2 and 3 and gives us, well, a massive loss for horses that were held up. This is the run style, it's the pace figure. 1 is horses that led, 2 is for horses that ran behind the leaders, 3 horses that ran in midfield, and 4 are held up horses. So hold up horses really are costing us a lot of money, a lot of points on this system. Okay, and we're going to keep that one in mind, and we are also going to look at the LTO position. Okay, these two here, there's plenty of bets. Position, this is the position the horse came last time. 26 and 21, horses that won and horses that came second. These give us also a nice profit, whereas the strike rates are dropping, and so are the losses overall. So there's two parts I want to just add to this system, and they are the run style and this is the number that you see on the race card each day, not equal 4. And one more rule, that the LTO position numeric, okay, that's the last time out position, less or equal to, so that's first or second. Okay, so we're seeing a 591 point loss and only 1 year of profit, but now we've changed we've added, and we've now turned this into, that massive loss has turned into a profit of 174 points, which is pretty good, a 22% strike rate. And as we can see, each year, it's not massive, but each year has given us a profit. Okay, and we're 15 points up already in, this is nearly mid-April. So I'm not going to say it's the most profitable system you've ever seen, but we've just turned all those reds, just by using the results breakdowns, into a positive. You can now see that profit and loss in handicaps is far better than in non-handicaps, whilst the strike rate is lower. But if you remember right at the beginning, handicaps were costing us dearly. Here's the class, lots more black numbers, lots more profitable figures, and overall I think it's something you could, there's still work to be done on this system. You can take this system and look for more things you want to refine, but you've got to be careful you're not over refining it and just totally backfitting. But these system results here, if you look at them, they're actually quite a good starting point for narrowing down any race into a lot of winners. You've got horses that have been dropped in official rating, 12 runners or less. Younger horses obviously win more. Class of race, better class of races, horses that are not too overexposed, or horses that haven't run, have very little experience, so between 4 and 30 previous runs. Horses that are held up do win less races, so we're removing them, and horses that obviously came first or second last time out are generally going to run pretty well. So this is just a basic system, but really it's showing you how you can turn a system idea from not great to a positive one, and something that you can go to work with. 20%, 22% strike rate and a decent profit, but something you can add to your betting portfolio. If you put £10 or £20 on each point here, then you're looking at a half decent profit over the year. Final thing I'm going to say is that you can, I don't know if there are any today, but once you've got your system and you've saved it and you can load it anytime you want to, click the declarations button, click apply rules, and there is, well, it's actually the 10th of April, so there's no bet today, but there's one for tomorrow. Okay, but if there was, you'd see it here.